And I want to invite my director, Barb Rager, and my new advanced director, Janelle Landright, to help me with a little bit of whatever you want to hear. But my first thing that I want to say, I'm not laughing about the megabus. I'm not. I really feel sorry for you, but I feel you really have a little Amish experience. But Barb has taken the megabus in the summer where it was so hot that they had no air conditioning and people were fainting. So it was quite the opposite for them. But anyway, I'm very proud of my two directors and advanced directors. I'm going to let them talk. If you have any questions for us, we could actually answer the questions better than what we can tell you because, yeah, I just think of the word KISS, keep it simple, sweetheart, or sweetie. We do it very, very simply. We don't have the technology that you do, but I've been taught 2 shows a week, 1 recruit will get you whatever you want. So I just keep it simple, and that's what I try to do, and that's what I try to teach. So I'll let Barb and Janelle take over.
Actually, Miriam wasn't supposed to do this to us, but anyway. I would rather just answer questions and then me speak. So I don't know if that works better for you guys. If the questions that you do have, we'll try and answer.
Overcoming obstacles, maybe?
About doing our shows?
I'll start.
Sure.
Okay. Break the ice here. So, tell us how you do your shows. Whether it's in your community, outside your community, do you go outside your community? Both. You know, that sort of thing. How do you get to your shows? I'm going to give you a lot of questions, right? How do you get to your shows? You know, we heard you say you take the megabus. I mean, you know, honestly, for somebody who's not very educated when it comes to the Amish community, there's lots of questions in my head. So, I'm going to be very out there with you. Say, you know.
I usually have a driver that I set up, and then he usually takes me to my shows.
Okay.
And there's a cost involved?
So like a cab?
Yes, there is a cost involved.
Is that like a cab? Or?
No, it's just a neighbor of mine that is willing to help me out at times.
Okay.
In a car? Or
in a car.
Okay.
Anywhere between 70 to 80 cents a mile.
So if I'm going 50 miles, I will be paying. I want it up only. I want a big show that night.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Miriam, how do you get to your show sometimes for those that don't know?
3 ways, either a taxi driver, a buggy, or my bike. Usually one of those. If it's within 2 to 3 miles.
I was going to say, how do you carry your products to your show on your bike?
On my bike, we have a little trailer hooked onto the bike, and I just load everything onto there and take off. Yeah, it's just like a little instead of a kitty cart, it's, yeah, you just load it with, yes. Very good. How do we communicate? Voicemail, voicemail, voicemail. We play phone tag all the time. Like, even Janelle, she does not have a phone inside her house. It's out in the yard somewhere in a little phone shack. We went from the canned wire to the phone shack and voicemail. So I'll leave her a message, and she's really good at checking her messages 2-3 times a day if she's not too busy doing shows, and she has a phenomenal downline, so she's always working with them. But yeah, we play a lot of phone tag because I also have voicemail. So yeah, she doesn't have voicemail, so I can't even leave a message. I keep repeatedly calling her all the time until I catch her at home. And often her mom is, no, she's working again. No, she's working again. So, yeah, that's...
You mail.
We mail, right.
All our shows in through the mail.
Yeah, right, pretty much.
I do all mine in paperwork. I love doing paperwork, so
And you mail in your shows.
I mail in my shows.
How do you communicate with your host?
What was that?
How do you communicate with your host?
Well, basically, I try and, I don't know, I get, voicemail, basically just what we talked about, but I I don't close the show when I'm there. I tell her what all she gets for free, and I just basically write everything down for her, and then about 2 days later, we just set a certain time, and I call her, and
She better be at her phone shack because I'm going to be at my phone shack.
And how do you communicate with your host prior to the show? How do you host coach? Like when someone's at a show that night?
Through the mail, too.
Okay.
I mail out all our invitations. That is one of the all-time best favorites of mine because I do the mini catalogs. And then I do just type out an invitation, and I put those in the middle. If somebody can't come, then they have a mini catalog that they can.
How do you get their guest list?
I get them to fill out with name and address and phone numbers, and they mail it.
And they mail it to you.
I have a question. I live near an Amish community. What would be the best way for me to get into the Amish community to start getting? I have no idea what this is.
What are you?
Wisconsin, but the Cashton area has Amish, and I mean, yes, they're out and about, but I'm not where they are when they are. But I would love to get,
Do you ever go to farmers markets or something like that, and they have stands? Mm-hmm. Introduce yourself, tell them what you can do, and ask them if you could demonstrate stones and cookware. The word pampered chef might not be familiar to them, but I would definitely talk about all the cooking and the baking that they could do with your nonstick and with the stones, because the stone is phenomenal in our ovens. I mean, it's absolutely the best.
And Miriam, can you tell them about how the double burner griddle is used in your home and in many Amish homes, and how you sell so many at your shows, because the griddle is not really sold by a whole bunch of other people other than Miriam Miller.
Oh, I didn't know that. Number one, we use it for breakfast. Of course, all of you know about pancakes and everything, but when I do baked potatoes, I always do 3, 4, 5 extra baked potatoes, because if I've got the oven going, I'm going to make extra. And whenever I am into making breakfast with our course grater, that becomes my home fries, hash browns, whatever. So we use that a lot. And then baking. We're strong on to baking. If you want a crisp cookie, we do a stone. If you want a soft cookie, we do the double burner griddle, not the grill, but the griddle. And brownies, whatever. Pizzas, if you want. Sometimes at my show, if they request 2 pizzas, because of the big crowd, we'll do one on the stone and one on the double burner griddle, or the 12-inch skillet as well.
My question is, how do you come up with different recipes to demo, since a lot of them are incorporating like microwaves? Like, how do you? There is some folks that I have that don't like microwave cooking at all. Do you guys recommend like a recipe that won't do microwave?
Well, that's what I'm after Test Kitchens. I want not everything on microwave. I would like to know the recipe in like the season's best with the oven, if you're doing the oven as well. Because most recipes are done with the microwave. So that's the time that we have to actually adjust our time to see actually how long it does take in the oven. So that would be one highlight for us if the Test Kitchens would do it both ways.
Or, so do you have like kind of recipes among yourselves that you kind of share that demo well?
So I would say the question is, what kind of show recipes are you guys making?
Each month I do the same recipe. I don't have time to. I have a full-time job. I don't have time to actually do 3, 4 different recipes during the month. So I do a recipe. I pick one recipe per month. I actually don't give them an option. That's my recipe. And my favorite, as I think it's some of their favorites too, is the chicken Caesar salad skillet. So that was one of my favorites, and it's one of my favorites. And the party sandwich as well.
I do a lot of the grilled barbecue chicken salad and lemonade. I make the lemonade at every party.
You make homemade lemonade. Do you use the citrus press or the juicer?
I do not. I use a simple slicer, and I 4 little lemons to 2 cups of sugar in the gallon-sized pitcher. That's it. Fill it with water and plunge it.
Wow.
Pretty much, any recipe that you have that is microwavable, you can, I guess I'm the kind of gal when it comes to cooking, I do not follow directions. I look at the ingredients and I make my own. And if there's anything in there that I don't like, I just adjust. I mean, I've never been able, and I guess I might be an executive already 3 years ago had I followed directions. I'm just But definitely keep it simple and a little bit more on your host coaching. Pamper Chef has the 3 calls that you guys do. We do it the same way, or I try to. I just leave a voice message. And when you guys are doing booking blitzes, what I like to do is do the booking blitz, but they're all to voicemail. Nobody's actually going to answer the phone, so I can't call back 2 hours later and say, hey, I've got 5 bookings, because that's not going to happen. I usually give them a time frame. Hey, if you call me back within 24 hours with the show, blah, 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 blah. Then I'll go on with it. So hopefully within the next 24 hours, I'm constantly going to my voicemail. Do I have messages? Do I have messages? So those are some of the things that we do, but definitely keep in touch with your host. That's number one. I loved last night, I don't know who said it, or maybe we heard it today. You earn your paycheck in your host coaching. You pick it up at your show. So every time you pick up that phone, even if we don't get a live person, it is a voicemail. And actually, to me, I love leaving a voice message. Sometimes someone will surprise you because they are at the phone and they will pick it up and you're going, you know, I wasn't I'm talking to you. So, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes.
How do you network? How do you
Network?
meet new people and stuff?
Meet new people, out and about. I mean, as far as I am the rebel, and I do have Facebook simply because I want more information from everybody. So I do some of that, but why are you? I know.